Greet death with sword in hand. That incredibly metal piece of flavor text is uttered by a legendary creature with a meaningful backstory. Alesha, who smiles at death. Alesha is 1 red and 2 generic mana for a 3/2 legendary creature human warrior with First Strike, and the added effect, whenever Alesha, who smiles at death, attacks, you may pay 2 hybrid white-black mana. If you do, return target creature card with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. Although Alesha's effect can seem limited, it can do a surprising amount of work. Running low on life? Bring back Grey Merchant of Asphodel to even the score. Want to disrupt the Spellslinger deck? Bring back Mindclaw Shaman to steal their best instant or sorcery, and cast it without paying its mana cost. Life gain deck getting out of control? Bring back Tree of Perdition to set them to 13 after the next untap step. Because of her focus on the graveyard, Alesha synergizes well with looting, wheel, and self-mill effects. Buried Alive, Entomb, and Final Parting are also fantastic here. Because of her Mardu color identity, mana-intensive ability, and focus on combat, artifacts can often make up a large portion of the deck. Mana rocks like Signets, Talismans, and Chromatic Lantern make sure you can activate her ability, while key equipment and combat synergistic cards like Swiftfoot Boots, Lightning Greaves, Sunforger, and Key to the City help speed up and protect your commander. There's plenty of game-winning plays you can pull with Alesha. Most notable is with Master of Cruelties. With it in the graveyard, and Alesha and 2 white-black hybrid mana on board, you can instantly kill any player who is unfortunate enough to not have any blockers. First, move to combat and declare Alesha as an attacker. This will trigger her ability, which will allow you to pay 2 white-black hybrid mana to bring back Master of Cruelties tapped and attacking. Once priority is passed, you'll move into the Declare Blocker step. If Master of Cruelties is still unblocked, his effect will trigger, setting the defending player's life total to 1. You'll then move to the Damage step, where Alesha will deal First Strike damage, putting the defending player to 0. This play pattern is also replicated with Kalia of the Vast, who can put Master of Cruelties into play with her attack trigger. Although most people are familiar with the Master of Cruelties play, did you know you can do a similar move by attacking with a wall? And yes, you can attack with a wall. Simply use Alesha's reanimation trigger to bring back Wall of Blood, and play your life total into its effect until you can bring its power high enough to take another player out. This only works if you have a higher life total than your opponent, and does leave you vulnerable, so use it only as a last resort. And finally, with access to red, white, and black, Alesha has access to an infinite combo similar to Splinter Twin, revolving around Revlark and Karmic Guide. This combo seeks to deal an infinite amount of damage using either Murderous Redcap, or a Blood Artist-like creature, and a Sacrifice Outlet. With a Sacrifice Outlet on board, and with Revlark and either Murderous Redcap, or a Blood Artist-like creature in the graveyard, Karmic Guide can reanimate Revlark. Now, sacrifice Karmic Guide and then Revlark. With Revlark leaving the battlefield, you reanimate Karmic Guide and another target creature with power 2 or less, like Murderous Redcap for example. Murderous Redcap will now deal 2 damage to a target player with its Enter the Battlefield effect. And Karmic Guide will reanimate Revlark. You can now sacrifice the Murderous Redcap twice because it persists to deal an additional damage. And then, finally sacrifice Karmic Guide. Once both are in the graveyard, sacrifice Revlark to reanimate Karmic Guide and Murderous Redcap, and restart the loop. Now, rinse and repeat until you're the last one left. You can also swap out Murderous Redcap for a Blood Artist-like creature to deal infinite damage from the death triggers. The deck also has access to cards like Raving Dead, Ebon Blade Reaper, Heartless Hitotsugu, and Havoc Festival to rocket the game to its eventual end. Drawn to her reanimation ability and access to ways to facilitate quick games, Alesha was one of the earliest commander decks I built and quickly grew on me. Curious to see what lore I could find on the Khan from Tarkir, I discovered the story article The Truth of Names by James Wyatt with additional story contributions by Matt Nickel and Allison Medwin. The article depicts Alesha's backstory as Magic the Gathering's first trans woman as she fights her way, despite orcish detractors, to reach a position of respect within the Mardu clan. At the end of the story, she goes through the important coming-of-age event where she chooses her name, which she bases off of her grandmother's. Her entire clan witnesses her and roars thunderously back in support. Although it's built around a fantastic world where people fight dragons, it warms my heart to see positive, powerful trans representation, and only further cemented Alesha's place as one of my favorite commanders. Check out a deck list in the description if lightning fast games are your speed, and from this queer content creator, happy Pride, y'all.